Hey guys, how's it going? I'm Lorraine and welcome to my channel, Steps to Wellness. Now, just before I dive in there and pull your cards for today, I'd just like to say I am a professional and experienced holistic and spiritual counsellor and mentor, and I offer 100% money back guarantee for image readings, tarot readings, also the programs, as well as spiritual and holistic counselling, mentorship, plus advice to help you with union with self and union with your person. And I also offer astrology birth charts. Just check out the details in the description box below this video for more information. So let's dive in there, Leo, and let's see what messages the cards have for you, for both you and your person's love journey thus far. And let's see what messages the cards have for you about your person. Alright, so let's go. Let's do this. Okay. Alright. So we're going to come in with the now. Alright guys, so you're coming in with the Sun card. Sun card is you. Sun card is Leo here. Alright guys. And so, because I'm coming in with Leo here, guys, this is all about the first house. This is actually about yourself here, guys. Yeah, you're talking about your appearance. You're talking about your physical health here, guys. Your interactions here. There's a lot to be said here in your reading about this card, the Sun card here. It talks about what's being illuminated, to be quite honest. Here guys, in terms of happiness, here in terms of your passions, in terms of your desires here. Alright, now I'm going to talk more to that card, okay? Now, you're also coming in with the High Priestess. The High Priestess is associated to Cancer, can also be associated to Pisces here. Yeah, alright, because of the moon. Because the moon rules Cancer. Alright. Now at this point in time, the moon is actually in Aquarius. Alright. Now, however, I just want to back it up there. So Cancer actually rules your 12th house here. And your 12th house is about the subconscious mind here, guys. The inner workings of the mind here. It can also come in as mental health and well-being. You're also coming in with, your health here, of course, here. So I'm going to talk more to that. Now, in terms of the Sun card here, I do get here in your reading, the Sun could actually be in your sign already here. Now, let me keep going here, all right, guys? See, what I want to say here, all right, what it's coming in as here in your reading. Now, hang on, let me just get something here for you, Leo. There's a big emphasis here, guys, on relationships, patterns here, ending out relationships is what it's talking about here. Then these relationships here in your reading, it's coming in as friends here, guys, maybe a friend group. It's also coming in as social networking here. These are relationships that you've built in the past here, guys. See, because Aquarius, which is where the moon is, here guys, Aquarius is actually in your 7th house of partnerships here. But what else is in Aquarius is Pluto. Let me just get that one for you here, guys. So what's being illuminated to you at this time? There's a truth coming in when you're coming in with the Sun card here. So you're coming in with your internal compass. You're coming in with your inner knowing here. I kind of get here in your reading is that you may not trust it here. Because you're coming in with the past needs to be sorted. Things need to be sorted here. That's what I'm getting with those two cards here in your reading. There are certain things here. Things can't be hidden anymore. There is no mystery here, especially if you're coming in this way with the Sun card and the High Priestess here. You do have the Sun and the Moon in that respect. All right, guys. There's a want to control is what I'm getting here, guys. There's a want to control what's happening, but it also comes in as there's a want to control how things are going to go here. It comes in as, here guys, what's being illuminated to you can be quite upsetting here. Because there is no control over that. This is coming in as surrender the ego and release the control. That's what I'm picking up with those two cards. Here in your reading, there is a deep inner knowing here. Oh, you do have an inner knowing here. You could very well be getting those intuitive nudges at this time. What I'm also picking up with the Sun card here. This has definitely got to do with this has got to do with the status quo here. It's something else I'm picking up here, guys. See, what's being illuminated here in your reading is what needs to be left in the past here. Here in your reading, because there is a new beginning here, but what I get here in your reading is you can't take the past with you. That's what it's talking about here. A past way of thinking, a past way of feeling here. All right, guys, book an image reading with me. Okay, if you want to know the difference between an image reading and a tarot reading here, guys, just check out the details in the description box below this video, all right, as I'm not just a tarot reader. Yeah, of course, you're coming in with some positive cards here, and the Sun card is positive here, guys, but what is it illuminating? That's what it's talking about here in your reading. And what I get here, what is being illuminated, the positive here in your reading, it's coming in as the path forward here. See, what it can talk about here in terms of the high priestesses here in your reading is that can't be hidden anymore. Here, there's a truth that needs to come out here, guys. See, it comes in as meeting and talking with people. You have a social network here, guys. But I get here in your reading, what it can talk about there is that you've got a 9-to-5 job here, but you also have an internal compass here. Or you could also have a YouTube channel in a sense here, guys. Yeah, that's what I'm getting, where you actually do tarot reading or some kind of esoteric knowledge here, guys, teachings, astrology. It comes in that way, but nobody knows that you do it here. That's what I'm getting here. No one actually knows, because you don't show your face here. But what it talks about here in your reading is that you may need guidance here. You may need support here, guys. Okay, all right. Okay, let me keep going here in your reading. Yeah, of course, the Sun card can actually come in as your person. You could actually be, your person could actually be Leo here, guys. I am picking that up as well here. So they definitely see you here coming in with the Sun card. All right, so that's the now here. But to come towards you here in your reading is going to take a lot of effort here. Yeah. For this person, for your person here. Okay. See, what you may not be aware of here, guys, is that they actually know that it's you here. But what they could be wanting here is, what they want to know here, guys, is the truth. So is it truly you? And if it is you here, then somehow this needs to change, is what it's talking about here. Because remember, I spoke about your 12th house here, guys, and that's exactly where Cancer is at this point in time. See, what it talks about here also, guys, is that there's room for development. There's room for knowledge here, because when you're coming in this way, all right, guys, here, because you're coming in with confidence here. You're coming in with self-worth here in your reading. Yeah. Self-esteem here, coming in with the High Priestess here. See, this is, yeah, of course they see you, your person. Let me just back it up there. All right, guys. But what it can talk about here in your reading, to actually be that person here, to show yourself here, because that's what it's talking about here in your reading, is doing your head in. But what it talks about here in your reading is that way of doing it, that may need to change, is what it's saying here. There's a fear here, guys. All right, let's keep going here. Okay, so you're coming in with obstacles and challenges here, because that's the now here. All right. Okay, so you're coming in with the Star card. You're coming in with the Ace of Wands here. And you are also coming in with the Knight of Swords here in your reading. See, what it talks about here in your reading is that it kind of takes a different turn here, Leo. All right, when you're coming in with the Star card here in your reading. Because what it talks about here in your reading is that you are actually the obstacle and the challenge here. Yeah. Let me just keep going here. Okay, so coming in with the Ace of Wands here in your reading, and then you have the Knight of Swords. And so what I get here in your reading is someone is actually learning here. See, with the Star card, once again, you're coming in with Aquarius here, guys. Yeah. And I spoke about that here in your reading. It's your 7th house. You're coming in with partnerships here. And just looking at your cards, what it can talk about there in your reading, it's coming in as all angles here. Now, I spoke about the High Priestess here, okay? I spoke about Cancer here in your reading, and what it's telling me here, Leo, is that there is someone who is watching you here, coming in with the Knight of Swords here. Yeah, of course, this person wants to come in with quick communication, but what it talks about there in your reading is that their communication is limited here, and it's limited here because of their knowledge and their understanding. And I do get that here in your reading when it comes to the High Priestess here. So, most times, if not all, the High Priestess is someone who has knowing here. And what it can talk about there in your reading is that High Priestess is at the beginning here, is learning here, guys. Yeah, of course, this can be yourself here, but what I get here, because Cancer is in your 12th house, what it tells me there in your reading is that you don't know what it is that you're learning. You need support. You need support and you need guidance. And what I get with the Sun card coming in here, is that you know that. See, you're also coming in with oneself, so you're coming in with the inner you here. That's why I'm saying here, Leo, you are an obstacle and a challenge here. Especially if this person is learning from you here. Especially if this person is watching you here in your reading. because there's an opportunity coming in here. Okay, guys? Coming in with the Ace of Wands here. See, with this Star card coming in here, what it talks about there in your reading is that you're actually in front of people's faces here. You're interacting here, guys. You've got a big social group here. This could even be your person. They could very well have a big social network here. And there's an offer here. It can come in that way. But this Knight of Swords, this is actually coming in as somebody else. And it's the Knight of Swords here in your reading that sees you as an obstacle and a challenge. Yeah. See, when it comes to the Star card, when it comes to both you and your person, you're out there. You've got a big social network here. You've got a big, I don't know if it's a social clique, but I get here, you're actually interacting here. All right, effective communication. It does come in as your technique and your style here. All right, guys. And see, Aquarius is also about innovation. It's about change here, guys. It's about progression here. And it's also about technology. All right, and what I get here in your reading is that for both you and your person, coming in with the Star card here, you actually do that here. And so what I get there in your reading is that this Ace of Wands, it's coming in as an opportunity. That's what I'm getting here, a business opportunity. Yeah, of course, this is about passion. It's about desire here in your reading. All right, guys? Okay, let me keep going here. Okay, guys, so we're coming in with the potential outcome. You have the Ace of Cups. You have the Six of Wands here in your reading, and you are coming in with Lovers. You were coming in with Gemini here, guys. Once again, Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Okay? And Mercury is actually in Cancer at this time. There's forward movement coming in here, guys. There's a lot of movement happening at this point in time. All right, and Gemini rules your 11th house here. Gemini is actually in your 11th house of innovation. So it's about, what I'm getting here is communication. Okay, there are many ways in which people can communicate now. You've got social media. You've also got here, guys, technology, because you're coming in with innovation. All right, you know, gone are the days where you wrote a letter and you sent it, all right, guys, in the mailbox, and it took at least 3 weeks to get to the other side of the country. You're coming in with, you know, boom, bang, the message is there. And so it is coming in with changes here, guys. It's blown my mind, your reading here, guys, okay, to be quite honest here, because there is opposition coming in terms of the Sun card and the Moon card here. See, what it can talk about there in your reading, and once again, you're coming in with networking here. You're coming in with building relationships in terms of the Lovers card. And like I said, the potential outcome here, you know, you have the Ace of Wands and you have the Ace of Cups here in your reading. So you have two aces here. See, what it tells me here, Leo, is you're going to roll with it. You're going to make it happen here. Can I be talking about there? Because you're coming in with confidence. You're coming in with self-worth. When you're coming in with the Six of Wands here, and say what that's talking about here, guys, is that it's giving you that push to talk to people, to interact with people here. But what I get here in your reading is that you actually can interact with a hell of a lot of people here. Different types of social groups. That's what the Lover's card is talking about here, because you're already doing it over here with the Star card. There's some kind of forward momentum that's happening there, guys. That's what it's also talking about here in your reading, because like I said, here it's you that's the obstacle here. All right. Okay, guys, so your advice, you're coming in with the Queen of Swords here in your reading. And so what I'm getting with the Queen of Swords, it's really going back to what I spoke about in the beginning in terms of the High Priestess here. All right, guys. Really in terms of social media, because that's how these cards are coming in here, guys. Yeah, here. And see, with this particular Queen of Swords, what it talks about there is actually speaking your truth here. And you do have the Sun card. It's about being who you truly are. And what I do get there is that that's definitely something your person is wanting to know here. Yeah, they're wanting to see you here. They're wanting you to do the work. Here, guys, it comes in that way. All right? But you may know of somebody who is like yourself here, Leo. Yeah, coming in with the High Priestess here. Okay, I am going to leave it there. Yeah. A truth needs to be spoken is what I'm picking up here in your reading. I'm going to leave it there, Leo. Thank you so much for your reading. Thank you for watching. All right. And I will catch you later. Bye.